We love sheet pan recipes. When we first discovered them, we went a little wild.
We did go a little wild. What's great about them is everything is ready at once. We love that. All the flavors mingle and meld together while it's cooking in your oven. And do you know what the best part is? You have one pan to wash. We do love that. And if you throw parchment paper or foil on there, sometimes it's honestly just a really good wipe down.
We love less dishes. Like, I don't know of a single busy parent out there that
loves dishes.
Right.
And freezer meals, I mean, they make your life better in general anyways, but it's even down to those little things. They add up. Like, it's part of the overwhelm that we have, right? So if we can do less dishes, you can do less dishes, and we love that for you.
When we had that year of discovering the sheet pan, we did go on a bit of a kick and a tear, and we invented a whole bunch of sheet pan recipes. And if you check out freezermeals101.com, you can actually see there is an entire section of just sheet pan meals because we love them that much. And we felt like it was time to invent some more. Not that we're bored of the other ones, because my goodness, we still enjoy them so much. So we are excited to try these new sheet pan recipes today. We are hoping that we're gonna find some winners. We are gonna make 2 of each one so that Christy's family can try them and my family can try them, and the winners will find themselves in the Freezer Meals 101 Club so that you can try them too. The first one is a Cajun roast chicken and vegetable sheet pan. This one's a little bit different from what we usually do because this one uses chicken drumsticks. The nice thing about drumsticks is you can usually get them for pretty inexpensively, and if you find them on sale, even better. And they've got the skin on, so they keep their moisture and all of those good things. We prepped our ingredients beforehand. We always recommend that you do that. And so when we prepped, some of the things are gonna be in multiple recipes, which just saves you even more time. So we've got a whole whack of green peppers here and some purple onion, and we're gonna use that across multiple recipes. The red pepper only goes in this one. But yes, this is gonna go together so quickly, blink, and you'll miss it. We are gonna show you just one here so that we can do an overhead video, the magic of YouTube, so that you can get a better view. So into our bag, we've got our chicken drumsticks. Then we're gonna add a splash of olive oil. And actually, I am going to just squish that to coat the chicken. Then we're gonna add some Cajun seasoning.
Sometimes you can measure things with your heart, but the first time we do a recipe, we really try stick to what we have written down so that we know how it tastes, in case we want to change it up later on.
So then I'm gonna actually seal the bag, keep the air in there, and give this a shake, just like you're doing shake and bake. Then we're gonna open that back up, and we're going to add our red pepper, our green pepper,
the same amount as the red pepper, maybe like 1.
And our purple onion.
Done.
Next, we're just gonna seal that up and give it a shake. You know that I love recipes that have a lot of color because that represents more nutrients and makes me feel like I'm feeding my family healthier meals.
It's true.
So you're gonna open your bag back up. Get as much air as you possibly can out of your bag. That's to prevent your freezer burn. Seal that up, and then we're gonna slap a label on there with the cooking instructions so that it is super easy on the day you go to make this.
So I don't know about you, but I have never been to a true East Coast shrimp boil where they put the newspaper on the table and they just dump it all out of the pots, and you sit there and with your crab cracker and your shrimp peeler or whatever. I've seen them on TV, and I think it looks so interesting and so delicious. And we are going to make an attempt at a freezer meal shrimp boil, and I'm really excited about it, honestly.
Yeah, I think this is one where it took us a minute to wrap our heads around, like, how are we gonna make this freezer mealizable? But
That's a word.
we've figured it out, hopefully, and we'll see. Our families get to be the guinea pigs for this, but if we can pull this off, let me tell you, it's going to be delicious.
It really will be. Now, again, we're going to do 2 of these, and so we've already got our corn cut up. Cutting corn is difficult, and especially when it's not super fresh. Now, we already alluded to the fact that this is, you know, in the new year. So this is winter in northern Alberta. I'm going to tell you, we don't get the freshest corn. We get, it's got to come a long way to us at this time of year. So it was tough to cut through some of these, but others we got through pretty good without mashing them up too badly.
I'll say that Christy had to do it mostly because I started. And I can't even say I was off to a good start. Like, there was nothing good about what I was doing. It's just that I'm really short. I don't know if you've noticed. There's a little bit of a height discrepancy here. And I was on my tiptoes trying to get leverage to be able to, you know, cut through this corn. And then when you're on your tiptoes, you're not the most stable. So it was just all a mess.
And she was determined, and I'm like, I can do it. No, I got this. But I ended up cutting the rest of the corn, and it went just fine because I am taller, I have more leverage, and I've been working out. So anyway.
True story.
I'm going to pop these ones back there, and we will do these for the overhead.
So we've got our corn in the bag, and then we're going to add some melted butter, some minced garlic. We just like to use our garlic from a jar. It's already minced and much easier. Then we're gonna do some paprika.
Now, am I saying that this is going to taste like you are sitting in a South Carolina cook shack where they're dumping this out on? I'm hoping it's going to remind you of it at least. I think it'll be really good and flavorful. I'm not saying it's the same thing. Like, this is literally a freezer meal, but we have some very, very, very good tasting freezer meals. It's it's only a 1/4 teaspoon. I'm glad I stopped to look.
So this is the smoked paprika that I couldn't open yesterday. Now I'm like showing myself as like such a wimp, and Christy's gonna be the strong one.
Oh, that's really on there. Oh my goodness.
Okay,
It's
so
really
it's
on
not
there.
just me.
It wasn't just you. Give me a sec. And it's plastic. It's not like we can whack it with a knife like you do with a mason jar or soak it.
Isn't it hard?
Good grief.
And if you open it, there's paper underneath.
Yeah,
so you
we
can't
may have
use
to.
it.
I am not gonna say we need a man. Like,
No.
I think it's glued on. Like, I think there's something wrong.
Okay, well, I feel better that you can't open it.
I really thought I would be able to because I very seldom get. Oh gosh.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, there is something wrong with this
Okay,
one.
I do
you have a
another
backup?
smoked paprika.
Okay. Wow.
Where is it? I don't know.
It might. Oh, is this it?
Yeah.
So we did find the other one. It is almost empty. Oh yeah, we have enough. We definitely have enough for this one. And Charlotte thought, you know, maybe not for the overhead, but I think that's a different bridge we'll cross.
We
that
might
when
have
need
to actually like take a knife and somehow get into that plastic and then dump it into this one.
Yeah, we might mangle the plastic to get in. I
Yeah.
was thinking even heat, like a little torch or something. Good grief. We only need a 1/4 teaspoon. We
Okay.
have enough. We have enough for the overhead. This is a problem for another day. Okay, salt and pepper. You go ahead and do it because I'm gonna do this. We do buy a lot of our spices in bulk, as you can see by the dry mustard here. And dry mustard is a funny one because it's one that you tend to either use a 1/4 teaspoon or like a tablespoon of the stuff, right?
Then
Gosh.
some cayenne pepper. This one is one that you can add to your preference. I like things spicy, so the one that is for our family will get more cayenne pepper than the one that's for Christy's family.
Yeah, our family is getting better about the spices. As my kids get older, they're a little more tolerant of the spicy. And we will not probably ever match the tolerance level of Charlotte and her spice preferences. And that's okay. But here's the lovely thing about freezer meals. They're yours. You can make it as spicy or not spicy as you want. And if you don't want cayenne in there at all, then you can just go ahead and omit it or find something else you'd like to put in instead.
So I added some nutmeg and some cinnamon, just a little bit of each. Then we're gonna add some lemon juice.
A little dabble, do ya?
It's next to impossible to find andouille sausage where we live, so this is a chorizo. It's just the best I could do.
And now for the star of the show, the shrimp. We picked the kind that has the tail off because, did we already mention it? We like to make things easier for ourselves. And half the bag goes in the bag.
We're putting the shrimp in a quart-size freezer bag so that on the day of, when everything thaws, we can drain the shrimp. I would just prefer not to have the juices from the shrimp thawing in my shrimp boil. But if you want all the juices, you go right ahead and throw them right in the bag. We're gonna get our air out of both bags and seal them.
I'd be tempted to add the butter in last. I think that looks, okay, I just said right now, I think it's cute. All the little corns, it looks really cute. And then we need something that is not normal in most people's kitchens. It's a stapler, because we're gonna staple these bags together above the seal. We don't put the holes in the important part of the bag. Now it does kind of make them a little lumpy when they're in your freezer, so you can choose to put these separate, make a little note on it of what it goes to. And I don't know about you, I like to do it like that.
There we go.
Ta-da!
When I tell you that I gravitate towards sheet pan dinners, I am not kidding you. As a matter of fact, now in my fridge, I've got leftovers of our sweet and sour sheet pan meatballs because my family can eat that like, I don't know, 5 days a week and they'd be happy. Like,
I didn't tell you what I did with my leftover sheet pan meatballs, sweet and sour. We always make 2 at a time. We try our best to make 2 at a time because it's faster. You're gonna do the prep, you just do it for an extra one. We tell a lot of people, eat one and freeze one. That is a really great way to build up and dip your toe into freezer meals. So over the holidays, we went to a friend's house for 2 days and we watched the extended version of Lord of the Rings. We did a marathon and we pulled air mattresses out and brought pillows and blankets and sleeping bags, and there was 10 to 12 of us at any given time, and we just watched the movies and ate because it was all the leftover Christmas baking. It was all the, so the first night we ordered pizza and everybody chipped in and that was fine. The next night we're like, what are we gonna do for supper tonight? And I suggested we could all do like a skip the dishes thing where, you know, everybody picks something different and that way it's a potluck that comes to your house. And everybody thought that was a great idea. And so it rolls around, Saturday rolls around, the movie's supposed to start at 1, and we get there and they're just making pancakes. Some people stayed overnight. Like, it was like a grown-up sleepover. It was just the funnest. And so they were all making pancakes and bacon and eggs, and we had just eaten because it's 1 o'clock. We had lunch first. And so by the time, I mean, we still probably had a pancake and a piece of bacon. And plus all the things that we ate during the day, like all the snacks and by the time supper rolled around, we were not ready to order skip the dishes but that morning, you and I had done a video. We had a live cooking class. It was great. We made these sweet and sour sheet pan meatballs. And my husband is like, instead of ordering more food, why don't we just take those? And that can be our potluck offering. And I said, that's a great idea. And so that's actually what we did. I had the sweet and sour sheet pan meatballs. They cooked up a thing of rice. Somebody had made a salad and brought it because she didn't also want to do the skip the dishes thing. Skip the dishes is like DoorDash, it's the Canadian version. And it was just amazing. We just had this little mini, it was just dinner, but we were all so full, we just barely ate. And I'm telling you, 10 people ate those meatballs. And then we got home at 1 in the morning and we had watched all of the Lord of the Rings.
that sounds like a pretty fun, like, adult party.
It really was, and it was super nerdy. One of the girls, she knows all the lineage, like she knows all their, like who's related to who, and then this one's part elf and this one's, I don't know. But I just like the movies. I read the books. I think that they're fun, and it was a bit nerdy, and I'm a bit nerdy, so it was great.
And sheet pan for the win.
And sheet pan for the win, because then it was easy cleanup, and everybody loved it. and it smelled so good, like the whole house. And I think I converted a few people like that week. Absolutely.
This Hawaiian ham sheet pan is a little bit of a departure for us because we've never had a sheet pan with ham before, but we do have a lot of garlic sausage or kubasa, kielbasa recipes for sheet pans, and they are so good. So I don't really see any reason why this wouldn't also be delicious.
Yeah, the only thing we really questioned while we were doing the prep for it was how big to cut the ham chunks, because it's going to be in the oven for a while everything else cooks up. Ham is cured or cooked already, so it isn't something that needs to, roast for hours when it's like this. They're also so big, you don't want to pop them in your mouth individually, but we didn't want to make them too small because then they'd overcook. So we did go with the bigger chunks, and we just decided it's okay to use a knife and a fork like a civilized person to eat your food.
Totally.
So we'll see how this goes, and we will report back.
All right, so we've got our ham chunks in the bag, and then we're going to add some pineapple chunks that are drained, some green pepper, great, oops,
Gotta run away.
green pepper accident, green pepper on aisle 2, some purple onion. This is going to be another colorful one. We've got yellow and green and purple. This makes my heart happy. It doesn't take much, apparently.
It doesn't take much. Some colorful vegetables, and this mom is happy. All right, we're gonna add some brown sugar, a little bit of cider vinegar, a tablespoon of that, and then Dijon mustard. Okay, here's the thing. We don't like dishes. We do eyeball a lot of things. I struggle sometimes to eyeball a liquid, but a semi-liquid, I can totally eyeball, that's fine, because I don't want to dirty another spoon to clean that one out. Does that make sense? All right, because I just have the brown sugar in there. It's also a tablespoon. I could just kind of make it brown sugar sized.
We're again just gonna squish everything together in the bag. We're gonna get out the excess air and seal it back up. It is a pretty one. Seriously, look at that.
It is beautiful.
That is some gorgeous food there. I can't wait to give this one a try.
And actually that came together so fast, like minutes for each meal.
And imagine if you had both bags out in front of you of your ham, and then you just started throwing the things like half in this bag and half in that bag. It would take you 30 extra seconds to do the second bag. We do wish that we could show you that because it really is so much faster, but again, we need to magically create an overhead video for you so that you can get a better view of what we're doing.
I'll tell you what, we have lots of videos. Go and check out some of our other videos where we do multiples. And when Charlotte and I get together and do our big mega sessions,
I'll pop one up there.
We make 4 at once if it's a tried and true recipe that we know we're gonna love. And so we literally will have 4 bags out in front of us and we just go bang, onion, 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 pepper, 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 pepper. And it takes like a fraction more to make 4 instead of 2 or just 1. And again, we filmed just 3 of them because we need one for the overhead. But that's okay. It's just really, really great to be able to do freezer meals this way because it's fast.
We are all about saving time. It doesn't hurt to save money.
It does not hurt to save money, especially in this economy. And the other thing about the saving the time is, and about dishes, when you do your prep, I used 1 single cutting board for all of our vegetables here. And so I didn't have to, like every night, you're gonna chop an onion, you're gonna chop your pepper, and you're gonna chop whatever, and then you're gonna go and wash it. And it seems like a fraction of a second at the time, But those add up when you are doing it every single night of the week. And that is why we love doing this ahead of time, because we do 3 months worth at a time. Let me tell you, that's like 40 cups of onions. We get out our chopper. But it's a good use of our time to do it that way, because you saw how fast these go together. And that's one of the beautiful parts of freezer meals.
Okay, we're gonna move on to another recipe. This one is a chicken recipe. It is completely achievable for you to get your freezer stacked with amazing meals and never have to wonder what's for dinner again. With the Freezer Meals 101 Club, we have taken the guesswork out of it for you. Once you join, you go in and you can access our tried and true recipes that you know are winners. Then you can create your custom meal plan. You can change the serving sizes so that if there's just 1 or 2 of you, you can make it work for you. Or if you've got a large family, it can work for that too. Then you're gonna print off your shopping list, your prep list, and most fun, your printable labels with the cooking instructions right there on your meal. Then all you're gonna do is assemble those meals, and future you is going to thank today you, because all the work is already done. The link for the Freezer Meals 101 Club is in the description down below. Christy sent me a Facebook message that shared a similar recipe to this, and she was like, we should make this. And it was months and months ago. And then maybe a month or 2 later, she was like, hey, do you remember that recipe I sent you? Did you take a look at it? Do you think that we could make it into a freezer meal? I think we could. And I was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot. I saw it, I totally forgot. I did not spend any time making it into a recipe. Like, resend it to me and I'll see what I can do. And then she resent it to me and I still didn't make it into a recipe.
She's a very busy woman, and I'm a very patient woman. We're a good pair. It's totally fine. And I had the recipe. I mean, I could have made it myself at home. I mean, obviously, you've changed it up a little bit. We freezer mealized things to make them freezer friendly. But, you know, I'm really excited about it. This is hot honey chicken sheet pan. And hot honey chicken is a little bit everywhere right now. I find it in a lot of reels that are coming up on Instagram and on Facebook. And somebody shared it at the gym I go to, of it being a nice, delicious and nutritious meal because of all the good things that are in it.
And we have a really, really good hot honey chicken slow cooker recipe that you like shred and serve on buns, and you serve it with pickles, and it's just like, oh, you know, so good. So I'm almost positive that this one's gonna be a winner. We just have to make sure by making it, freezing it, and then throwing it onto our sheet pan and seeing what happens. Oh, as I said that, I just realized something we forgot to tell you. For that shrimp boil, the day that you make it, you're gonna need to parboil some potatoes and then throw that on the sheet pan with everything else. So you're gonna thaw everything, and then you're gonna throw your vegetable, well, it's not really vegetable, it's like corn and sausage and seasonings on your parchment paper covered baking sheet, because the parchment paper makes cleanup easier. And then you're gonna drain your shrimp once it's thawed, and then you're gonna mix the shrimp on there, parboil your potatoes, drain those, and throw those on there. So that is one recipe that's going to need like a little bit of work on the day that you go to make it, but it's so little compared to if you had to make everything from scratch that day, because you would have to be doing the thing where you're cutting the corn. And now it's already done.
You have to phone your neighbor and say, Christy, come over and help me cut the corn. And the other thing is, you know, regular potatoes can't be frozen. They go watery and mushy, and they kind of turn black, and it's not great. You could, if you had your egg together, which we did not today, you could parboil these and put them in that with the corn and the andouille sausage, and it would freeze okay because you have parboiled your potatoes.
And for the rest of these sheet pan recipes, there really is nothing to do on the day of except thaw them, put out your parchment paper, dump the bag onto your parchment paper, throw it in the oven, and like read a book.
At most, you might like make a pot of rice to go with some of them. Maybe not today's, but some of them. Yeah, it's just that easy.
Really, in like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, depending on the recipe, these are done and on your table. And they are so family friendly, and some of them can even be cooked in the air fryer if you prefer. Okay, I got a little off track there, but I'm gonna get back to our hot honey chicken sheet pan. So we've got our chicken in the bag. We're gonna throw in some cubed sweet potato that was peeled. Okay, we've got our minced garlic, again from a jar.
Doop.
Some chili powder.
And like I said earlier, we do buy some things in bulk. You wouldn't understand the amount of taco seasoning we go through. It's like we're a restaurant a little bit in that respect.
Well, I do have a kind of a supersized family, and Christy's family, although not supersized, includes a teenage boy who is in sports. So
Yes. So we got the second mortgage and we are good to go. No, I'm joking.
Okay, then we need some paprika.
Some
which
real
is
paprika.
right here. Not the smoked paprika that we have to,
That
to
we need
cut into with a
We need the jaws of life. It's a whole
Hacksaw.
teaspoon, yeah. Oops, I almost put the honey lid back on the paprika.
And then our melted honey.
Do you want to eyeball it?
Yeah.
She's better at it than I am.
2 tablespoons. Amazing. Now we're going to close this up and give it a shake. And then of course, get out our air and seal it back up and get the label on there. Now this one is not quite as colorful. We've got orange and purple and chicken, but you might want to serve this as a side salad.
I would be tempted to throw some broccoli florets in there, or I don't know.
You totally could.
You totally could.
When we actually try it, maybe we'll see like what we think would taste good. Like
We could put pickles in it. It crossed my mind. I forgot about the hot honey chicken sandwiches, and when you said they're really good and we shred the chicken and we put it on sandwiches with pickles, I'm like, right, maybe we should have pickles in this.
maybe.
We've had pickles in weirder things and they're delicious.
That's true. Stay tuned because you never know what we might add some pickles to. Actually, Christy this morning was just saying, ooh, we had Kathy's lazy rouladen last night.
And it's ground beef, an onion, a pound of bacon, and pickles, chopped pickles, and then a gravy sauce. And you just mix that all, you fry it all up and you add the gravy, and then you put it on potatoes, and that is your supper. And it, like, we clean the pan out every time. People run to the kitchen, to the dining table to eat that one, and it is so good.
It's my family, it's one of their favorites too. It's so simple, and because when we make it as a freezer meal, we actually put browned ground beef in it and cooked bacon in it, and so then when you reheat it, it's just minutes, like 5 to 7 minutes, and dinner is done. So yes, it is like, we love it as busy moms, but our families like love the flavor of it, and it's so weird.
It's so weird because of the pickles. Well, and the brown gravy, like we put it right in the bag, and on the day of, you add a cup of water because it makes the gravy from the packet. Like, it's the weirdest recipe, but it works. It is so good.
And because we've talked about that so much, we are going to put the link for Kathy's Lazy Rouladen in the description below. We will also link our hot honey chicken, the one that you make in the slow cooker and shred it, because we talked that up too. And I don't want to leave you hanging. Like,
Right, we'll talk about all those things. You could just go check us out on freezermeals101.com and look at all of our recipes, because we did already tell you about the sheet pan reservoir that we have there with all of our sheet pan recipes, and hopefully more that we're going to add to it.
we are definitely hoping to be able to add these into the mix. Thank you so much for being here today. We've had a lot of fun.
We have had a lot of fun, and we are going to figure out how to open up that jar of paprika. If you have suggestions, I would love to hear them in the comments for next time. I'm probably going to have to like spend a bit of time on the internet to look at suggestions, because It's a doozy. At home, I have one of those things that has the teeth, the jar openers. I might take it home and try. I don't know what to do.
I actually I feel better than I did yesterday, because yesterday I was just like, I really need to start going to the gym. Like, I am so weak. I don't know what is wrong with me that I can't open this.
I haven't been stumped by a jar for a very long time. A lot of times I'll ask my husband or my son, it makes a man feel good. Do you know what I mean?
Some men.
Some men. My boy was in kindergarten and he said, Mom, guess what? I said, what? I'm the boy that opens everybody's thermoses at lunch.
That's cute.
It is cute and it's very him.
Yes.
And now he's the kid.
But I don't know, like, man, woman, or child, nobody can open this smoked paprika.
We'll never know. You could take it back.
Say I need to return this because I can't open it.
And they'd be like, sure you can. And you hand it over and be like, show me. That's funny.
Oh my goodness.
If you had something funny like that happen to you, actually say that in the comments because we love a good story like that. Okay.
So you take it, there's a little indent, and it
Oh.
goes like that.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, babe.
I think it broke.
And look at our beautiful meals here that we have today. And we're so glad that you could join us and follow us along while we were cooking. And if you haven't already, please hit subscribe and hit the little bell. So every time we post a new video, which are Wednesdays and Sundays, you will get a little notification and you're on your phone and you can just watch us and see what's new.
Thank you so much for being here. We always have a lot more fun when you're along for this story or stories. And happy cooking.